It might be the premium only. I'm not sure because I have it here, but it's
Yeah, I mean, it's not
not previewing. I think because I have my shit open in OBS. All right, so I probably just gotta close the OBS. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because I feel like OBS sometimes like takes your camera. 7-1.
Yep.
One thing I'll do is I'll sit over here so they can see my canvas.
Here we go. All right. At everyone live now, you geeks. Get in here. https:// wicked good gaming.
I think this is it. Okay.
Usually, you know what you could do, Gabe, is if you quit out of OBS, switch off your camera, and then switch it back on in Discord, and then go to OBS, I think you can fuck with it. But like, you have to make sure that Discord like owns your camera first. That's the way we've done it in the past.
I might actually. I think I just so there's something called virtual webcam here. And it says I should be able to display scenes from Streamlabs desktop and video conference software. So
There you go.
let me try restarting Discord. Unless it's right here, voice video. Yeah, let me try restarting real quick.
Or look at the way Dominic is sleeping right now. Look at the angle he sleeps at.
Yeah.
Look at the angle he sleeps at.
Oh.
And then he like wakes up, bro, and he screams because his hand is like caught in the railing or like his head is smashing against the other side. I'm like, buddy, you gotta just like chill. I think is the problem. Got no chill when you sleep.
He flops hard.
He does flop hard.
Understandable.
Now that he now that the sleep training is done, he does flop it. Like he'll cry for like 10 minutes, and he'll be really upset for like 10 minutes, and then he's like, and then he's out. Made a little margarita. This is my third homemade margarita.
Okay.
Little strawberry.
Casamigos in there?
There is Casamigos in there.
Casamigos in there? Ooh.
As it turns out, I had a fresh bottle in the freezer. Did not even know.
Oh. Hey, you know, you just remind me, I got Reposado. I'll get the Reposado going. Okay. They get the Reposado going. With Reposado and ibuprofen, they say that's the key. You know what I mean? They say that's the key, bro. I might collapse on this podcast.
That's
man.
how Michael Jackson wrote Thriller, was Reposado and fucking and ibuprofen.
They say that's how Michael Jackson was like putting himself to sleep, bro. He was doing ibuprofen 2000 with tequila.
Yeah, he was on ibuprofen 80,000s is what he was on.
Bro was taking literal morphine and shit to go to bed.
He really was.
Bro was crazy. That might be the new morphine, the new rip.
The new. He literally is on, yeah.
All right, I got it, but I just had to flip everything backwards.
My canvas, show my canvas some love. Or me show my canvas some love. It's like salt lamp.
There he is. What up, dog?
We made it live and in person.
Is it too dark?
No, you're good. All right, let me just get my shit up here. Boom, boom. Move the name.
How's the audio sound on mine too? Should I put my AirPods in?
You can if you want. It's up to you. It sounds good to me. I can hear you fine.
Yeah, Discord's got a good audio sense.
Yeah, I'm just like talking into this is just coming out of my laptop. So
all right,
it sounds good.
Let me just make sure we're recording. And yeah, Gabe, like I was just telling Kev, like I'll lead you guys in. I'll just like we keep everything pretty broad and like generic, and we keep it fast and loose, so you don't have to worry about anything. We just kind of go off the top, and usually we keep it to a tight hour, so we'll probably be done by 9. But yeah, we'll go from there. So,
boom. That's just it.
On this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, we are going to be doing a little old school theme here. We're going to be talking about the biggest gaming disappointments of 2023, as well as our most hyped games for the rest of the year. We're going to be talking about all the other great current events in gaming and esports that you know and love, and also maybe talk a little Modern Warfare 3, because COD Next is out, and a lot of people are getting some free vacations to tell us how much they love COD Modern Warfare 3 all of a sudden. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit, all that and more on this week's episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast. So strap yourselves in, get yourselves comfy. I fucking wasn't even recording the whole intro. I wasn't even recording.
Oh, bro, you killed that too. Damn.
God. I wasn't even recording. I was not even recording. All right, here we go. This is the real one. On this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast, we are going to be a little old school Not Another Gaming Podcast for you. We're going to be keeping it general, playing a little fast and loose. We're going to talk about our gaming disappointments for 2023. We're going to be talking about our most anticipated games for the rest of the year. And we're also going to be talking a little Modern Warfare 3. A lot of content creators got a free vacation to tell us how much they love the new game. So hopefully, just like the last time, a bunch of them got a free vacation to tell us how much they love COD. This one's actually good. So all that and more on this episode of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Get yourself strapped in. Make yourselves nice and cozy. Pour yourself a beverage, because we are diving in right now.
Let's go.
I got a minute to make a drink. Turn my video.
Are we live?
Maybe I'll just bring the drink into the video. Boom.
Fast and loose, baby.
Yo, welcome back to Not Another Gaming Podcast. It's your boy Papa Don. We are back live, direct, and handsome, and we've got some special guests here. Tiggy and Bob could not make it this week. We had some extenuating circumstances that brought them elsewhere. So we've got some great people, some good people. We're like I said, this is a vintage Not Another Gaming Podcast episode. We got some hometown buddies on the show to talk about some games. Keep it real, keep it really real with us. No agendas, no preconceived notions, no sponsorships, no ties, no nothing. We're just gonna.
I might have a few agendas.
No, we might have a few agendas. We might have a few agendas. So first, we have Gabe, live and direct. Gabe, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Happy to be here. Happy to chip in. I love what you guys do, and let's talk some games. Let's play fast and loose.
Absolutely. Now, Gabe, do you stream at all? I see you get the stream set up.
Yeah. I did. It was a pandemic hobby for sure. Kind of fell off when I got a new job. Less time to do it, but I love it, and yeah. So like I said, happy to be here. It'll be fun.
Hey, maybe
get back into it.
Maybe we get back into it.
Yeah.
And of course, joining us now for the first time ever, which is kind of crazy to me that this is the first time in 300 and God knows how many episodes of the show. Recording artist, Spotify phenom, co-host of the Lee and Keys Real Talk podcast, UFC. He says a UFC casual. I think is a UFC analyst. Semi-pro. I don't want to say amateur. I'll say semi-pro UFC analyst / handicapper. Holder of all the belts.
This is true.
My brother, Kevin, a.k.a. Keys Real Talk. What's good, man? How's everything? Welcome to the show.
Glad to be welcomed at Keys Real Talk on all socials. At Keys Real Talk on TikTok. I'm putting up some Fortnite clips. I got Sea of Thieves clips. I got a bunch of different game clips. I like to do commentaries. Check out my commentaries. Goat shit, all the bouts. The Real Walk Network.
Real Talk on the talk.
Real Talk on the talk. Exactly. So it's Keys Real Talk. TOK. That's why we gotta run up TikTok. So it is what it is. It is what it was. Let's get it.
All right.
Oh yeah, Keys on Spotify as well.
Yes, Keys on Spotify. Make sure you go check them out. So what we do whenever we start an episode of the podcast is we do a little something called the weekend.
Damn,
recap.
son, where'd you find
It's
this?
exactly what it sounds like. We the weekend. What'd you get up to? Did you drink any adult beverages? Did you play any video games? Did you do anything notable? Gabe, we'll start with you. What'd you get up to?
It's a pretty low key weekend. I've been very much addicted to the new Cyberpunk update, so that definitely
So
took up a good portion. Yeah, I liked Cyberpunk when it dropped. I know it had problems, but update fixed any criticism I could have had. So that was most of my weekend. Pretty low key.
All right, cool. Kev, what about you?
Adult beverages.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got the Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice Harpoon.
Ooh,
Shout out.
How is that? I haven't had that.
Oh,
Classic.
it's fantastic.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
All right. I might have to take a couple of those for a ride this weekend. That is definitely.
Oh,
I
highly
have
recommend.
I have not seen that before, so.
They're phenomenal.
The coffee kind of balances out the pumpkin. You know, the Shipyard can be a little sweet sometimes, so this
I like a good-
strikes a nice balance.
I've been known to do a little like Shipyard, half Guinness.
Okay, yeah,
So-
that's probably gonna be pretty close to what you're getting here, so highly
Right.
recommend.
All right, next time I go somewhere that has those on tap, I'll just get those for this weekend. That's 100% what's happening.
I've seen them a lot of places. They got them.
Yeah, they've been broadening their horizons for sure. I thought it was like a niche,
Yeah.
like little promo thing, but now they're everywhere. So,
Right.
Kev, what about you?
So, first of all, I forgot at Keys, Lean Keys Real Talk. At Keys Real Talk for sure, but Lean Keys Real Talk is usually Wednesday nights at 8:30. We didn't do it last night. We couldn't make it happen, but yeah, Wednesday nights at 8:30, we go hard. So check us out. And secondly, is I was gonna go. Well, I was pouring a drink. I actually left the glass with a filled with ice on the kitchen counter because I realized that I drank my whole bottle of Reposado on Friday night. So I thought I had it still.
Happens.
And it did not occur to me that I had no recollection of drinking the entire bottle. So understandably, it's not there. And
That's a common
and
side
it-
effect.
it's a common side effect.
Yeah.
Drink the Reposado. It's fantastic. And all my tequila drinks are fantastic. You don't even know you're drinking tequila when I make them. That's how good they are. I rate them a 10 out of 10. What I rate my
Unbiased.
Costco drinks. They're absolutely phenomenal. That's the reason why we drank the whole bottle, because it was so good
Yeah.
that we just couldn't stop drinking it. So we went to buy a second bottle. But yeah, so that's the thing. I drink, and the reason I say it is because I drank Reposado, a whole bottle of Reposado on Friday, and then I played video games the rest of my weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And I feel like that was probably the most productive weekend I've had in the last, 36 months or so.
What have you been playing?
I've been ripping Fortnite hard. I've also been ripping this game called Escape Academy. And
I forgot about that.
I want
Yeah.
to point this out, and maybe we get to this at some stage in this call, but I was playing Escape Academy the other day. We were playing Escape Academy, me and Gabe, and the thing that hit me was, wow, this game is crossplay.
Mhm.
I want to say it's like came out a couple years ago. I'm like, this is a crossplay game. It works perfectly. We were able to connect online, very very simple, with ease.
Mhm.
I'm like, why? And
Wow.
it hit me. I'm like, damn,
Hmm.
I'm so like blown away by this experience right now. I'm like,
Imagine
why
that.
is this? Imagine us just meeting up on Escape Academy, and it was a perfect rip. There was not one problem the whole time we played it. It was a good 3 hours on the game. We were ripping, and it was flawless. I'm like, wow. And I don't know why, that's not the standard today, but we'll get there.
Well, yeah, no, it is definitely that is definitely a disappointing fact, a sad reality, if you will. But yeah, as for me, what did we do this weekend? We met up. We went to Chili's. Me and you went to Chili's. I know you were down bad on Saturday morning, but we had some plans to grab lunch, so brought the boy out. We went to Chili's. We had a couple of refreshments. I know you were sticking to the non-alcoholic mango teas just to kind of patch yourself up, which I don't blame you for whatsoever.
3 mango tea will get you right.
Yep. Sunday we went to there's a dog bar, which is like an indoor dog park and full service bar close by to us, which we took Miller to, and that was pretty good. Had a couple of drinks, took those for a ride. Went 3-1 in fantasy football in both my leagues, so pretty pumped about that.
Love it.
What else did we play? I played some Cyberpunk. I got into Cyberpunk for the first time in the past like week and a half, 2 weeks. So fucking
First
good.
time ever playing?
First time ever. Never played it.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
So fucking good. I got through like the first act. I won't spoil anything
Yeah.
for anybody, but I got through like the heist. Cried. I tried
Dude, that intro, and that's not that different from launch day. That got me hooked right into the story at the very least.
Yeah.
The game had issues, but that intro story is beautiful.
I was
Hooks
like,
you right in.
I genuinely was like, shit, I need to just play this nonstop now. And
Yes.
the only problem is that it like so many of the Cyberpunk missions is just, you know, there's a lot of dialogue and there's a lot of stuff that you can't save in the middle of. You have to get through it. So I'm like, shit, I got like
that is true.
You know, I'm on a lunch break or something, and I'm like, shit, I got 20 minutes until I gotta get on a call, but I'm stuck in this conversation in this diner, and I don't want to skip dialogue because it's all so good.
Right.
But I get locked into it, and yeah, it's a bit. It was a little tough, but I played some Mortal Kombat 1. I'm nowhere near anywhere progressed through the story. I played a few matches. Really technically sound game, a lot of fun. And then what was the other game that I've been playing? I can't even remember. I'm drawing a fucking blank right now. We played D&D and the entire party almost died, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, you know, it's all good things. But let's jump right into it because I know that whatever I'm going to say next is going to feed into this topic anyway. So we are almost done with 2023. We are 10 months through with 2023, which is hard to imagine. We got 2 months left in the year, and the majority of the games that are going to come out and disappoint us have already come out.
Disappointed us.
They've already disappointed us. So the question is, what are the biggest disappointments in 2023? And I want to say this because Assassin's Creed Mirage just came out. And as a OG Assassin's Creed fan, I love the first 4 games. Assassin's Creed 3 was where they started to lose me a little bit. Then they got like a little bit more on the open world side. I heard Black Flag was awesome. I think that's widely regarded as like one of the last really good Assassin's Creed games by like the old fans. But I never got around to playing it. But the open world ones just never grabbed me. But Mirage seems like it's kind of a return to form. But some people said they're already disappointed with it. But every time I see a clip online, it looks fucking awesome. So I don't know. So I want to turn it over to you guys. Gabe, we'll start with you because you're on the top left of my screen, and then we'll go counterclockwise.
Are you sure you want to start? I feel like mine's kind of the hottest take here. So.
All right. Kev, we'll start with you then. We'll start with you, Kevin, then we'll go clockwise. We'll go to Gabe afterwards. So biggest gaming disappointments of 2023. What do you got?
Well, I actually wrote up a list. I had 3. But which one did I have the highest hopes for that devastated me the most? Oh my god. It's got to be. Okay, I'll say this. The biggest gaming, actually, this might even be more disappointing than all those. The biggest disappointment was Fortnite's jungle update. The jungle biome update was actually bigger than everything I wrote down on this list, and it just hit me right now. So Fortnite's jungle biome update, which has been pretty much the map for the majority of the year, plus the summer update that they did, was absolutely a 0 out of 10 stinker, garbage, and it remains to be pretty high level garbage. The new update they did has made it much better. So the newest update gets a ton of props, but what they had done pretty much all year leading up to like when this last update, which I think was September or something like that, was
You're talking about Chapter 4, Season 3, Wilds.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Wilds was the biggest disappointment of the year, and then in combined, tied for second place would be Redfall and Exoprimal.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I know you were big on Redfall when it first came out. What torpedoed that game for you?
I mean, it was just hard to. It was hard to keep my attention because the story was interesting, but it was just like scoping in with the sniper, and you just didn't see the scope anymore. Yeah, like there would just be like all sorts of things. Yeah, like the game was like a lot of times I played it. It was just like I felt like I was glitched out almost like every session that I played at one point or another. And then like enemies wouldn't load in at a certain point, and then like at another spot they would. So like sometimes you'd see enemies spawn in, and you'd see maybe like two vampires coming down the street, and you're like, wait, are we there? Like,
Right.
are we in? Did we
Then
do
you
it?
one shot both of them.
Yeah, you one shot both of them, and then the next time you do it, there'll be like an overwhelming amount, and you're like, all right, so we go from pretty much not knowing if we're in the mission to going to getting absolutely devastated by 900 vampires.
Yeah.
So there was like no balance in the game. I'd say that was a debatably the biggest thing for me. It was really bad balance, and then just like so buggy that it just made me fall off with the game.
Yeah.
Plus, nobody else. It didn't really go over well with any of my friends, and it's like, okay, the game is not. It's not good enough to where I'm gonna rip it by myself, which I thought I would. When I looked at the gameplay the first time I'd seen it, I was like, oh, okay, this looks like something like I'll play it regardless, and it just wasn't. There was too many things that it kind of like took me off the game to want to rip it by myself. So that became an uninstall.
Totally feel you on that. I felt the exact same way. I thought the shooting mechanics were ass. I thought they were the ugliest character models I've seen in a AAA game in a very long time. And a lot of people were comparing it to Deathloop, which was Arcane's last game. But I thought Deathloop was great. I had a great time with Deathloop. I played through the entire game. I thought it was a phenomenal story. Redfall made no sense from the start. And like the characters that you were playing as, unlike with like Left 4 Dead, because people were like, oh, it's Left 4 Dead with vampires. But with Left 4 Dead, I feel like I understood what was going on. With Redfall,
didn't they like not name the characters? Didn't they like not tell you who you were like dealing with? Wasn't that a thing too?
They kind of did, but you didn't really get much else than that. You got like something on the little splash page, but like they didn't really have an individual character arc or like anything like that. So, and like from the moment that I started playing that game, I was like, wait a second. So what the fuck is going on here? I just don't understand like what. I was like, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, it was crazy.
What I'm doing, and I'm glad that Arcane released a statement. That's how you know the game is down bad, because Arcane had to release a statement that was like, we know the game stinks, and like we're not gonna leave it alone. Like we're gonna make it a good game, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just there was a lot of hate initially for that game when it first came out, because it didn't support 60 frames per second right off the rip. Because it only had like performance mode or something like that. No, I'm sorry, quality mode. But I don't even know how you get quality mode, because the game looks ass at like ultra settings. But then people use that as like ammo for like console war shit, because there were other games that released, like Starfield released at, we'll get to that game. Starfield released at 30 frames per second too, but people were like, oh, you weren't hating on Starfield, but you're hating on Redfall or whatever. But I don't know. The game had 9 million other problems. Not just the frame rate was the least of its problems. But no, I definitely feel you on that. Any other big disappointments? You had the Fortnite season. You had Redfall.
I didn't notice that. That's one thing that I never caught on to, was the frame rate thing, because I don't know if I'm even getting the same frames as you guys. So I don't know if like I can even tell the difference. I never noticed anything with Redfall.
It was locked to 30 on console, but that's, I mean, all Xbox One, every game was 30. That was not even a question. But on the new Series S, it was supposed to be, or Series X. The promise was, now we're in the 60 FPS, time, and the fact that they had to go back on that on one of their main first party games, not a great look. It doesn't. Again, I'm not a big frame rate whore. Like I'm on PC now. I play console most of my life. There's a difference. I like 60 frames. It feels good. When I go back to 30 frames now, it feels worse. But if the game is there, I don't care. You forget about it after a little while.
Yeah. The first time I played with that is I played Destiny 2 on PC for the first time, after playing Xbox One for like bajillion hours, and I was like, holy fucking shit. How does anybody play this game any other way? But yeah, no, I feel you on that. But Gabe, biggest gaming disappointments of 2023 and why? What's the top of the list for you?
So let me preface, disappointment is a ratio, right? You can be disappointed and still think the game is good
Okay.
just because you thought it was going to be great. And that's where my biggest disappointment is with Starfield.
Oh.
I like the game. I think it is a good game. I think there's a good base there. I think the modders will in time bring it up to be the kind of game I want to rip all the time. But it in the first week, I think I was in copium mode. I was trying to I'm a huge BGS fan.
Yeah.
I love all their stuff. I've played hundreds of hours of Skyrim, hundreds of hours of Fallout. So I was really hyped for this game. I was buying the marketing campaign. I was there the whole time. I was sold.
You're all in.
And playing the game, it's just very okay. And I actually I talked to Keys about this before, but I actually would compare it to Redfall in that it kind of feels like what Redfall should have been,
right?
Which is an okay game. Redfall came out totally broken and terrible, but it is kind of a game where you just kind of get pointed in a direction, you go, you shoot stuff there, you get some cool loot, you level up your stuff, and that's fine. That's not what I look for in a BGS game, though. That's and that's my other biggest thing that would I think saved Starfield is if they had made it multiplayer. If I could play this with my friends and we could just go around looting and shooting, I'd be playing that right now. I wouldn't be on this podcast.
Yeah,
I'd be in the party ripping that because that is what Redfall kind of promised and just didn't deliver on. But this game, I think, at its best with ignoring mods, I think multiplayer co-op looter shooter, it would have been really fucking fun. But as it stands, it's just
guy?
No. I really tried to get into it a few times.
Did
but
you play
it's
it like post Wastelanders update? Like when they made that big update?
I did. I played it when it first came out, and I rented it actually because I had heard how terrible it was, but I had to try it, so I rented it from the red box out the street from me, and I tried it out, and yeah, that game did not click with me at all. It was just the shooting wasn't there, and that's the difference. Starfield, the shooting feels really goddamn good.
Yeah.
The weapons are really cool.
As a first for Bethesda.
Yeah,
and for them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's the achievement. Again, that's why I'm saying it's my most disappointing, but I do think it is a great game in a lot of ways. I just don't think it's the game that they necessarily sold, which is I guess where I have a problem. I saw in the marketing they were trying to say like, oh, this is we're going back to our roots of like Morrowind, right? Like this is a deep RPG, and then you give me a skill tree that has like a few random buffs in it. There's no real like builds you can make. There's no real role playing there. It's a looter shooter. That's what it is. And I love looter shooters. So that's that can be cool too. But it's gonna be up to the modders, in the same way that I enjoyed Cyberpunk when it dropped, but I could tell it was not a great game. And then I'm blanking on the developer's name now. CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red put in the legwork to bring it up to where it is today. I don't see Bethesda putting in that legwork, but the modding community certainly will.
Yeah.
So I think they'll make it maybe more of the RPG I was looking for.
Yeah, no, totally. It's gonna be. I mean, Division 3 is gonna be the new rip. When Division 3 drops, it's a wrap.
That's another game I couldn't get into. I try. I again looter shooter fanboy over here, but there's
Division
something.
3 is the only. I mean, Division is the only fucking third person shooter that's like active and like supported.
Yeah.
Exo Primal was supposed to be the new rip. That's the other thing
But
that's another disappointing game. Yeah,
that was a huge disappointment because
it had everything going for it.
That game, and it feels good too. Like it feels good playing. It definitely doesn't feel like
Exo Buns.
Exo Primal feels like real, and it's like fun, but like just not for a long period of time. Like I'll play it. Yeah, like I'll play it, but I think one thing that the game. And I feel like this is doable. Is like they need to add more game modes. I think if they could add more game modes, like I could easily reinstall it and start to play it. But it's just like that one. I feel like it just wasn't enough there. It's like how is this holding my attention for more than 2 hours? Like it's barely even making it to 2 hours. Like that's like an hour and that's like a solid hour and 47-minute rip. Exo Primal, like because it's not like the game modes they have is just not that interesting. Like it's cool. And like it's fun to shoot dinosaurs, which I even like that in the other dinosaur game we played, Dino Wars 5. But Dino Wars 5, well, I don't know what it was called. It was called Transformers Dino Wars 5. we just watched in theaters, right? It was Transformers Dino Wars 5 was the movie that we just watched. Maybe that would be the new rip. Would be the Transformers Dino Wars Dino Age video game. That might be what would save
That
us.
might be the rip. Yeah, that might be it. I mean,
No.
that's the thing too. Is like Exoprimal. I feel like is the Exoprimal is what like people kept telling us that every Game Pass game was going to be. That it was going to be like some game that got just like dumped onto Game Pass because it wasn't like a fully fledged $60 or $70 experience. But there's a good game there. It's just the gameplay loop is kind of like blah, and it takes, it's just the same mode every single time. Like when I got through that first mission, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. I can get behind that. And it's like, all right, go back in time again and kill more dinosaurs. And I was like, I don't know. I can't do this for too long. And then I got thrashed like 3 times in a row by a team that was like clearly all in party chat together. And I'm like, all right, this is the last fucking thing I want to do with my time right now. I will give it a break.
Did either of you make it to the boss fights?
No, I did not even know that those were.
Yeah, see, that was the best part of the game. There's like a handful of missions in the game. You have to play a long time, and everyone has to, in your party, you play at the part of the person who's furthest behind in your party.
Okay.
But once everyone is up to those levels, you get these boss missions that have like some actually really fucking great moments in them. And if they could have concentrated those moments a little better and fed that to you a little more often, there was a game there. And they just, they put way too much filler in between of just shooting not very threatening waves of dinosaurs and then getting washed by some team who's gotten way too into this game way too soon.
Yeah, like you're
learned the exact meta.
Like I'm level 10. This game's been out for 25 hours.
The problems with that game was a lot different than the problems with Redfall. Redfall was much more. Redfall and really like me saying Fortnite Wilds was the biggest disappointment. Like Redfall might actually be tied for first with the biggest disappointment because realistically that one was the biggest fail. They sucked at a lot of things with that game. Like they almost checked off every box of error that they possibly could with the game. I'm talking about the balance because that was just one of the things and like the bugs with the shooting and stuff, which were things that I noticed more. But overall, like there was so many errors with the game. A lot of things you mentioned that I kind of forgot about. But just unbelievable levels of finite. Exoprimal had the structure and like a lot of good elements. They didn't have like all the bad shooting, like all these different factors. It felt good. It's just like they didn't have enough. The execution wasn't there. The game, they need more different things. They need diversity. They need more different game modes. If they can add more game modes, get like a horde thing going or something like that, like I think that they could be a new rip there.
Yeah, no, totally. I totally agree. I mean, I think that, between Exoprimal and Redfall, they both have a long way to climb. Especially Redfall. I mean, Redfall, I think
I don't think Redfall's ever coming back.
No. I mean, there's no reason to go back to Redfall, like unless you're like literally a diehard fan of whatever Redfall is. But there's just no soul in that game. It's just clearly not finished. It's clearly one of those games that like there was a bunch of different like conflicts of ideas when it went into the production of the game, and it doesn't seem like anybody really won. It seems like they were like, oh, we want to make Arcane's first multiplayer game, and everybody at Arcane was like, we don't want to fucking do that. We want to make a single player game. That's what we do. We make Dishonored. We made Deathloop. We made fucking Prey. Like, why are you making us do a multiplayer game? And I don't know. It was not good. But for me, biggest disappointments 2023. Starfield was up there just because it wasn't optimized to the level that I was hoping it was going to be.
You couldn't even play it, right?
I still can't play it.
You still can't play
it. I literally still can't play Starfield.
That's not
so
right.
I have an Intel Arc A770, which is their best graphics card, which, by all accounts, like I can run Baldur's Gate 3, Modern Warfare 2, fucking what else can I run? Like Cyberpunk, like all max settings, ultra settings, perfectly fine. Starfield doesn't work. Just doesn't work. It crashes, it stutters, it looks horrible. It's the only AAA game that's released this year that doesn't work. Mortal Kombat 1 looks fucking beautiful. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming out. I think it's out today. Game Drivers came out. there were some like rumors or whatever that I know that Bethesda has a deal with AMD and like they're a
Yep.
big AMD shop, which is fine, but like people who ran on like really top end Nvidia cards could not play the game. People who have Intel cards still cannot play the game, to the point where there's mods that's like this supports different types of upscaling that like are not AMD card specific. I'm not gonna get into the whole thing, but the fact of the matter is I still can't fucking play the game. I'm still in the first. I have 2 hours in the game, and those 2 hours are me logging in for 10 minutes at a time, 12 times, so that I can see if the game works yet, and it doesn't. So it just
Yeah.
blows my mind.
No
that-
excuse for that.
No, I mean it doesn't make a difference, and I'm sure that there's a little bit on Intel's part, and I'm sure that there's some on Bethesda's part, but it just blows my mind that that game just doesn't work like that. So it's going to be a disappointment for me.
Yeah, even I mean, part of my huge disappointment too is going from Starfield to Cyberpunk, where Cyberpunk I can run ray tracing on low settings
Yeah.
on my 20 series card. I have a 2080 NVIDIA GeForce, and I can run ray tracing, low settings, everything else at like high. Game looks fucking beautiful. Runs at not quite 60, usually like 55, but you can barely notice it. And to go from Starfield, which I had to run everything at like medium settings to even get close to 60 frames per second consistently, and also the other, loading in and out of every single door I walk through, whereas Cyberpunk has a lot more open kind of flow feel to it.
Yeah.
It's just it makes it really hard to
Yeah.
justify what Bethesda has been putting out when they're a company that is already was $1 billion company, but now is backed by a multi-billion dollar company at Microsoft. It's they got to do better, and I really hope Elder Scrolls can achieve something that
Well, hopefully that's something
we haven't seen from Bethesda.
This was the swan song for whatever the engine is. I can't
Creation,
remember the Creation
yeah.
engine. This was like supposed to be
Creation
the last
engine.
one. The last game on the Creation engine should have been fucking 3 games ago, but I mean,
Probably,
what
yeah.
do I know? But
But you have real objects that you can pick up and do nothing with. That's the argument I keep seeing on Twitter. Like,
and throw them at people.
yeah, it's like, all right, that's kind of cool, I guess.
I mean, some of the facial expressions, like the footage that I've seen from Starfield on people who are getting it to work in like an optimal way, it looks so good, and I'm like, damn, I really want to play that game. But at the same time, it's just not a reality for everybody. Another biggest disappointment for me this year is Destiny 2. I think that Destiny 2, I love Destiny. I love a looter shooter. I love shooting aliens. I love shooting space monsters more than, your average bear. And Destiny 2, Bungie, I think they've majorly shit the bed when it comes to delivering on the promise that it's like, hey, we got acquired by Sony for like $14 billion or whatever it was. I don't know what the fuck the number was. It was big. It was big. And we're going to be making all these big changes. And they haven't done that. It's been a very stale year for Destiny. And I bought the premium edition of Lightfall. So I literally I've had every season pass this year. And I've played one of them because it was just such a stale experience for the game. The same loot, the same grind, the same guns, the same, you cross out the names and put something else in, and it just feels like the same shit. And the new player experience fucking blows. So I can't even get Kevin to play with me because we played Shadowfall together, or Shadowkeep together, and it was fun. We played through the campaign, but then it was like, what the fuck do we do now? And one of my buddies who's a big Destiny 2 power gamer. Shout out to Connor. Shout out Gemhammer and Sons Gaming. He jumps into the party and he's like, all right, Kev, put these mods on, do this thing, do that, min max your character. And it's like, that shit is not fun for somebody who's coming in from nowhere, who doesn't play, MMOs. If you play World of Warcraft, or you play, any other big RPG that's super deep and stat focused, then sure, you understand that. But that is a great way to scare away anybody who's new to the game and just wants to play something that Bungie made. It's like, hey, I love Halo. You should be able to go into Destiny and play as much as you want and have a great time. But the fact of the matter is that once you get to the higher level content, you're alienated. I would like to play the Final Shape. I I am looking forward to it. I hope that it is good. It is supposedly like the final expansion and like this big story arc that they've been doing since Destiny 1 came out. But they need to make some big changes for me to stay invested. So Destiny 2, big wet fart for me this year. This year. I really hope that they clean it up. But let's get to the semi-positive. We're going to teeter back over. We're going to teeter the things back over here. We're going to go from like disappointments to like speculation to optimism is where we're going to go.
Can I make one addition to that?
Yeah, go for it.
When I played Destiny 2, like the last run that I made on the game, I mean it's a lot of storage. I mean I have a 1 terabyte, but it's still a lot of storage. I think the game's like over 200 gigabytes each time I install it, and
Crazy.
which is that's huge. Like that's literally at that rate you could have maybe 5 games, like that taking up a fifth of all my storage is pretty wild. But aside from that, the last run that we played on it was when they added a gun similar to the Halo battle rifle.
Yes.
Which I'll give them the credit of that, which is a pretty, it sounds like a very simpleton thing, but like I do appreciate that battle rifle felt really good, and I did enjoy shooting aliens with that battle rifle. It was, I forget what they named. I think it was like a BR-75 or something that they called it. It was some other term they used, but it was definitely a Halo battle rifle, and I like that. But the game overall feels like what you said. I couldn't have put it into words like that because I don't like know enough to describe it that way. But that is the way that it is because it seems so overwhelming. The game feels like stressful when I play it. I feel like I'm trying to like figure out how to play it every time I play it. And it's like, why am I trying to decipher the game? I feel like I'm trying to like crack a scientific formula when I played Destiny 2. And it's like, I just want to like shoot stuff and like rip video games. Like I don't want to like try like be, you know what I mean, jumping through hoops to try to like play this. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, I think that, at the end of the day, there's a very bad like disconnect between new players and existing players for Destiny 2, and for the creators of one of the best first-person shooters of all time, they should clean that shit up. There's no fucking excuse for that. And especially if they want to make it to the blockbuster FPS game that it should be. There's no reason why they shouldn't. But Modern Warfare.
Don't let me get started on Destiny. Let's get positive.
That's right. Modern Warfare.
I'm more negative.
Modern Warfare 3. We're gonna go neutral. We're shifting into neutral. Everybody and their mother got flown out to California to go play, or wherever the fuck. I think it's California. Everybody got flown out to California to go play Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone 3.0. And coincidentally, the Venn diagram between the content creators that were flown out to California to go play the game and the people that are saying that the game is amazing is a big circle. There's no overlap. It is just a circle.
Imagine that.
So the people that got a free California vacation and the people that are saying that Modern Warfare 3 is great is 1-to-1. I watched the trailers. I watched some streams. I watched some previews. It looks good. I'm not the biggest. You guys know me. I'm the premier Call of Duty hater on Earth. This has been the same thing since like COD 4. The trailer looks fine. I think Activision cuts a really good trailer. This goes for all their games. This goes for World of Warcraft. This goes for Diablo. They cut a good trailer. Whoever they put in charge of their cinematics on any team in any subsect of Activision does a great job. But it looks like every other COD to me. They have all the same maps that everybody wanted from the old school, Modern Warfare games. And everybody seems very optimistic. What do you guys think? Modern Warfare 3 is COD back, or is this just another? Are we just delaying the inevitable here?
What's crazy is I want better for COD fans than they want for themselves, man. That's what's so crazy. Like, we're in the live service era, and here's the thing: is that live service is not a dirty term. Like, live service is good when it's done right for the right games. problem is that the industry and these C-suite guys can't figure out where that should be applied. COD should be a live service. They should have released Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and that's a game that they're going to just support for like 5, maybe even 10 years if it's good. Do updates, drop new maps like you would for like Fortnite. You know, they get new map updates. You know, have a steady stream of content, have a battle pass subscription that people can pay into. Don't drop a new game for $70 every year that's really just kind of the same game and will never be good enough because it doesn't iterate on the previous game. You lose anything that you liked about the previous game, you lose. Anything that you dislike might get changed, but then it's going to come with new dislikes. You know, it's that's where it should be, and that would be better for everybody in that community too, because especially, you know, on the content creator side, they could have a more active role in like you know, providing feedback on what needs to change, what balance needs to be made. And maybe they've crunched the numbers on this and they realize that, you know, milking that $70 every year, especially at the rate that's COD sales, because that's the funny thing. We're in the gaming sphere, we hear all the dialogue about COD, but no matter what that dialogue is, that shit sells the most of any game that's released that year. You know, like it's so they don't have much incentive to do anything better for the fans, because fans are going to be there no matter what. So, you know, it's going to be another Call of Duty, and anybody who likes it, I'm happy for you. It's not going to be for me. I got roped into Modern Warfare 2. I was terrible at it, and I never played it again. So,
very fair. Kev, what do you think?
I mean, I expect to have the same experience as last year. I expect that I'll probably buy it, I'll probably play it, and then there'll be some like super apparent like there'll be a huge thing that I don't like, and then I just won't play it anymore. That's what happened last year with Modern Warfare 2. I think the games, and I've never been big into Call of Duty, even back to the old games. Like, I was always like a super casual COD fan. I was always ripping Halo. That was my shit. That's why I'm nasty. But like Call of Duty, I only became big on Call of Duty with Modern Warfare. Technically, this series, Modern Warfare 1, which was 2019. That was the first COD game that I was like obsessed with. You know, I've never felt like, oh, let me go right home and pop on COD, you know, or like, you know, I got to lock in with the guys on COD. Like, that was the first game I ever thought that. But I think something that game did, and I think what they would need to do with this next one, which I don't expect them to actually do, because, you know, they sell the most games of the year, and it probably will be the biggest game, regardless of if it sucks, is that they'll make it overcomplicated, you know? Like I was saying earlier in the show, and I said, let me save that energy till later. I was saying, like, you know, they make it like a 6-step process to unlock things. Like, instead of, like, to get the red dot, this is what took me away from Modern Warfare 2, because it felt like they wanted you to play it so much to have to get things. And it's like, I think if COD could go back to the way it was when I was a casual fan, this is ironic. I think if it went back to how it was when I was a casual fan, you would see COD thriving again. You need to bring it back to you need to strip the game down and stop trying to like overcomplicate your system. Like, back when you would just level up and like you knew you were going to unlock, you know, the MP5 at level 40, and you were going to unlock, you know, whatever this other, the AK-47 at level 50 or 52, and then you're going to unlock this sniper at 56. Like, they need to go back to that. You need to go back to just simplifying the game and just like bring the maps, strip it down, and give people Call of Duty, and stop trying to, you know, be like, I agreed that the live service thing, it should be, but at the base, like, don't make it so it's an 8-step process to unlock a red dot scope. Once I realized that was the way Modern Warfare 2 was, I was pretty much done with the game, because I'm like, I couldn't unlock guns until I played with other guns that I hate.
Yeah, that's
I'm like, why do you want me to have to? It's like, to unlock a half decent scope, I'm playing with a naked weapon. I call it naked, meaning it has no attachment. I was playing with guns that I liked that had no attachments, which gave me a huge disadvantage in any game, because all these people have silencers and they have really cool like holographic scopes and all this shit that's gonna beat you if you have no attachment, unless you're a pro. Like, the pros play, you watch the COD leagues, like, those guys are all running like M4s with no attachment, MP5 with no attachment, but they're pros. Like, when you're playing in a at our level, at a more regular level, the people that have a better setup gun are going to beat you 20 out of 10 times. That's just the way it is. You need to have good setups in the game with your weapons. If you can't get good setups, you're going to lose the people that have good setups. And it's when the game makes it so you have to grind like weapons to get this certain attachment to be able to compete with those guys. It's like, why do I have to grind, the fucking this gun that sucks and get that many headshots with it to unlock this other gun that sucks, get that many kills while prone to unlock this gun, to then get this attachment to unlock that attachment. I'm like, why is this a multi-step process to get what I actually want? Like, why are you making me play with guns that I don't like and that are terrible?
Yep.
To get one thing. Like back then it was way better. You would make it like headshots or leveling up and then you'd get it. That's the way you go.
I remember getting into when we really started playing Modern Warfare 2, because there was like a couple of weeks where we were really playing the shit out of that.
Don't get me wrong, the game felt good. The game felt very good.
The game felt really good, and then I looked at the unlock tree and I was like, wait a fucking minute, I have to level up the first shotgun to like level 20 to get the second assault rifle. Or it was like those like unlock trees. And I'm like, okay, like I respect a good unlock tree as an RPG fan, but like I think this is a little, I don't know, it just feels like a little much. And honestly, I think the only reason why the gunsmith and stuff like that still exists in COD is because of content creators. Because they know it's like an industry. It's literally like an industry. And if there wasn't a gunsmith and if there wasn't 9 million different combinations of different guns, the amount of content that people could pump out for COD would be a fifth of it. Does it add that much depth to the game? Probably not. Does it add like a margin of, adds like, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3% more like effectiveness to somebody's actual gameplay? Because at the end of the day, if somebody's like, use a mouse and keyboard, or like they have their sensitivity just right, or if they're hacking, or if they have, if they're just outplaying you, I mean, they're just going to outplay you. I gotta go worry about Modern Warfare 3 having different movement and shit, and people are gonna be like fucking snake crouching and stuff like that and killing me mid-game, and I'm gonna uninstall it within 15 minutes. I already know. But I'm gonna go play the campaign. I like the COD campaigns. I've always liked the COD campaigns. Zombies looks pretty cool because they have the DMZ influence. It's more of like kind of an open world map type deal, and there's like different missions, and there just happens to be zombies in the background, which I think is cool. I know some old school zombie fans don't like that, but I think it's a cool change. I'd be down to play it. I don't know. I just feel like, when it comes to Warzone and, ranked and stuff like that, it's just not for me. Just give me the PvE shit and I'll be happy. But no, I definitely echo what Gabe said too, is like, I want better for COD fans. I want them to want better for themselves too. And I hope that they get it. But I just don't know if like we're starting off on the right foot here by being like, here's all the vintage maps that you like. Isn't that great? And like, here are the mechanics that all your favorite content creators wanted. We finally gave them what they wanted. So the casual fans are going to fucking suffer. They're going to get fried every time they play the game. I don't know. I can't help but think that might be the case, but I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I like having the dialogue, but again, the dialogue's so irrelevant because COD's gonna sell and people are gonna go through the same cycle again. Where
COD life cycle. Can we bring that Venn diagram up and just show it?
Yes.
So
the COD circle
was so much better.
Oh, we can totally
the
talk
circle
about
of
that.
life. It's so true, man.
Dude, the circle of life. So we are at gameplay hype right now. So the
Okay.
circle of life.
Yeah.
Gabe, I don't know if you've seen it, but the circle of life.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah, no, I'm familiar.
New title excitement, which we've already gone past. Well, before that is complete resentment, which is where we're at for Modern Warfare 2. New title excitement. Gameplay hype. Then we're going to get to the honeymoon phase, which is like the first month or two that it's out. Content is getting stale, which is like February to March. And then we're going to get to complete resentment again by the summertime. Midway through the season.
The staleness might drop a little sooner because it's all just old maps anyways. People are going to realize, like, wait, I played the shit out of this like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
Be surprised. I mean, that's exactly what happened with Vanguard. The staleness got into it so fast. It was like a record time. At least they made it through the majority of the year with Modern Warfare 2. But as soon as the CDL season was over and people were knocked out of contention, they were like, I don't know, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. because they don't have to worry about getting penalized or like missing games or whatever. So I don't know. But
Did I hear something about Warzone skins aren't going to transfer too? Like any skins that you got in Warzone 2, whatever this was, they're not transferring. They're going to sell the same skins, but you just have to buy them again. I think I heard that.
Finite.
I can't confirm or deny that. Further research needed, but
devastating.
Not good.
That would be brutal.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But ending on a high note. Most anticipated games for the rest of the year. I need to grab some water really quick, but Kev, we'll start with you. We'll go clockwise this time. Most anticipated games. I'm listening. But I'm going to mute myself really quick just so I can grab some water. But most anticipated games for the rest of 2023 or like early 2024. Go.
And my last thing I want to say on the previous point was the thing that, and I remember it very clearly, the thing when I was noticing the things I didn't like about Modern Warfare 2, because we played the shit out of it probably like the first 4 weeks that it was out. Like when my cousin asked me how much time played I had in like November, he was like, "Wow, you have that much time played? Like I feel like you haven't been playing it." I'm like, "No, I played it. I played the shit out of it that first month. Like I was ripping. You know, even by myself I was ripping. But like by the time I want to say like November, December came, like I was done. And a big thing during that time was that we were playing Fortnitemares. That was a big thing that made me not give a shit about Modern Warfare 2. I was like, all right, I'm not going to deal with like the grind in this game that I don't like, because we have Fortnitemares here, beautiful Fortnitemares that I love so much. And we're fucking going to the Grim Gables, and I don't give a fuck. So that's how it was. And I'll just repeat that point because you probably didn't hear it. Is
No, I didn't.
Fortnite? Oh, you did hear it.
Yeah.
Fortnitemares. We were ripping Fortnitemares, beautiful Fortnitemares. We were dropping in at Grim Gables, and I just couldn't give a fuck about the grind of Modern Warfare 2. So, yeah, the first 4 weeks we ripped the shit out of it, and then I was ripping Fortnitemares, and that pretty much, steered me off of it, and then that was pretty much it with the game. So, yeah, it is what it was.
No, I totally feel you on that. No, yeah, we were ripping that hard, and then like I think when like Warzone 2.0 came out, we played that like 2 or 3 times, and we got fucking smoked in like 11 seconds. We're just like, okay.
I'm not a Warzone fan at all.
No,
I think Warzone is I think it's complete.
Fortnite is so much better.
I always say, let people enjoy shit. I don't try to like. I'm not like on Twitter being like, oh, like adding like Warzone people and like that dude Censor and being like, oh, you like Warzone fucking sucks, bro. Like stop tweeting about it. Like there are people that reply to him that way, and all those people that talk about Warzone, you see them.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna do that. But I will say that if you're gonna ask me, I think Warzone is garbage. I think it's complete garbage.
Dude, the last time
Fortnite
I played Warzone,
way better Battle Royale. Just saying.
The last time I played Warzone I was like top 3. I was one of the last 3 people, and we were in this tiny little area. There's like a bunch of like little houses and like a little bridge over a river. And I'm hiding in this house, and I'm like getting ready. I'm like trying to hit. I got the headphones all the way up. I'm like waiting to hear somebody. I'm like poking a little bit, peeking a little bit, and then a fucking bomb drone just comes into the thing and just kills me immediately. 1-hit kill. I just heard like ring. It just explodes. Just died. I was like, okay. I guess there's no skill required. You just get the kill streak and you just put it into the house and then you just click okay. And I'm like, all right, well, that's gonna get uninstalled. See you later. That was easy.
And you know what it was
free on my computer.
You know what it is too. Warzone that always kills me is there's like no. Gabe, what's the word that you use for it? Is it like mobility or like what's that word? Like getting you from A to B around. Is it mobility? Like it
mobility,
there's none. Like every Warzone I played.
They have cars, but yeah.
Back to the first Warzone, I feel like I'm trooping it every time I play. Yeah. And it reminds me of like playing like Battlefield, I think it's 1846 or whatever that Battlefield was back in the day. I used to play it, and I feel like I would be running for like 20 minutes. Literally, in real time, I'd be running for 20 minutes, and I would die. I would get like sniped, and I'm like, dude, what? Yeah. First of all, I just spent 20 minutes running across your fucking map, and then I run into one gunfight and lose, and then I'm out of the game. Like that's pretty much what Warzone is to me. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like in Fortnite, you can bounce from A to B to C to D to E to F very easily almost every single season. In Warzone, I've not seen make anything like that a single time.
Yeah.
So I was not even touch it.
It's brutal. It's fucking brutal. It's definitely just not as much of a fun experience. All right, so last topic, because we got about 10 minutes left here. So maybe we'll do a little rapid fire, most anticipated games for the rest of the year. Kev, we'll start with you. What you got?
Honestly, I don't even have it. I don't even have one. I'll say the only, because I don't know of anything that's coming out in Q4. All the games I was anticipating have already came out and disappointed us, heavily. So
True.
I don't have anything really. Just the only thing that I'm looking forward to is Fortnitemares, which should be coming out next week. So that's pretty much my end of the year game. I'm not really anticipating Modern Warfare 3.
Yep. Okay. All right, Gabe.
I had to look up a list because honestly, I don't have too much to anticipate.
Or any games that have come out like this year that you're, or even Q1.
I mean, I will also say I'm interested to see. I guess Fortnite just sent out to a bunch of their content creators that they have big plans for November and December, which I joked with Keys has me worried about Fortnitemares. Cause it's like, why not October? What's wrong with October? Yeah. But whatever they do have cooking, I guess I'm pretty hyped to see what that ends up being. But also, I looking up at this list. First of all, shout out to Marvel Spider-Man. Wish I had a PlayStation 5. Definitely would highly anticipate that. Yep. But whenever it comes on PC, I'm right there, day one. But I just saw that the new Like a Dragon is coming out at the end of this year, November 9th. I really liked the last Like a Dragon. I always wanted to get into a Yakuza game, and the combat was kind of too boring. But the switching it to like a JRPG style combat that still had some action elements, I thought was really fun. So I might actually end up checking that out. So
okay,
I'll put that one out there, just a X factor.
All right. Both are Nintendo games for me, both are Mario games for me. Super Mario Wonder.
Okay.
Super Mario Wonder coming out in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. And Super Mario RPG remake.
That's probably gonna get caught for me. Yeah,
that is an instant cop that is already pre-ordered.
When is that? That's this year.
That is this year, baby. That is.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was this year either.
Yes, I wasn't aware of that.
That is the day after my birthday.
Well, I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo usually keeps their release dates pretty close to announcements, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, Super Mario RPG remake is November 14th. Let me see, 17th.
Okay, I'll add that to my list. I didn't know that was coming out this year.
Oh, dude, I'm fucking in there. That is already pre-ordered. We are ready to go. We are in there.
They gotta come out. We need co-op. They gotta drop it co-op.
I wonder if they'll have online co-op for Super Mario Wonder. I bet they won't because it's Nintendo and they don't know how the internet works. But that's like the first.
It is a co-op. It's a couch co-op, right?
Yeah. It's couch co-op. That's the first like side-scrolling Mario game that's actually had like some innovations. In like God knows how long. Let me see. Super Mario Wonder online. Let me see. Online. Share your adventures with players from all over the world. So there you go. You get some online co-op.
Figuring it out.
Mario Wonder. We're definitely. Also, one thing that I appreciate with Nintendo, and I mentioned this on a previous episode, is that they have the game voucher thing where like you buy it for like $100, and then you get 2 tickets for a game that could be $60 or $70. So I bought for Mario Wonder and for Mario RPG. I paid $100 for both of them. So instead of paying $120, I paid $100.
I did that for Tears of the Kingdom. Great deal.
Same thing. I did it for Tears of the Kingdom, and what was the other game I got? I think it was probably Pokemon Scarlet, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think they had the Pokemon games on there, did they?
They do now.
So that's. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember I think we looked for that. My girlfriend ended up getting Mario Party because she wanted it, but
what the fuck did I get?
I think she would have gotten the Pokemon game if she could.
I'll go back and look. If it wasn't that, it was something else. It's a no-brainer that I'm somehow just forgetting because I got like mush brains. But, all right. We're going to do a little segment that we call Land the Train. We have brought the plane down onto the tarmac. It is pulling into the station. Everybody keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle and keep your seatbelts fastened until we end the episode. But basically all this is that you shout out whoever you want to shout out, plug whatever you want to plug your stream, plug the music, plug any links that are relevant to you. I would like to start off just really quick plug for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month fundraiser. The shirts and hoodies are live now. That is breastcanceroawareness.com/collections/BCAM 2023. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month is here. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Last year we raised thousands of dollars for Runway for Recovery, which is a phenomenal charity. I'm wearing last year's hoodie right now. If you didn't get it last year, you will not be able to get it anymore. I am not re-releasing these, so if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. This year, brand new shirts, brand new hoodies, brand new zip-ups, a lot of amazing stuff. All of our proceeds this year from bits, donations, subs, podcast revenue, Patreon, and of course merch. Not just the charity merch, but all of our merch, store-wide, is going to go to Runway for Recovery, and we'll pull that at the end of the month and let you guys know what the totals are. But big shout out to everybody who has already purchased one. I know that we've already got a few sales in the books. Looking forward to hopefully smashing last year's number, and appreciate everybody who supported. Gabe, what do you got?
I'm sold. I'm gonna get one right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so we're not active streaming right now. I think maybe we have some things in the works, me and Keys. So we'll get back to on that. But I guess I'll plug my music, Azazel AZ, on all platforms. If you want to give it a listen, go ahead and do that. And thanks for having me. This was fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for jumping on. Kev, what do you got?
Facts. I said it in the beginning. Keys on Spotify. Look me up. I got some music there. At Lee and Keys RT on Twitter. We talk about fights. We talk about UFC. We talk about boxing. We'll talk about Jake Paul if you want. Definitely follow us there. Follow my boy Lee too. I'm at Keys Real Talk on Twitter. And yeah, Lee and Keys Real Talk Wednesdays at 8:30. Yeah, that's and then at Keys Real Talk on TikTok as well. I got some gaming clips there. I'm trying to get it more official with the streaming. Get some more official streaming going soon. AZ just mentioned that you'll get more of that. But yeah, we're gonna get things going. Yeah, hit me up. Thank you for having me on. This was a really good time.
Of course. And for everybody else, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for keeping up with us. Make sure that you check us out on Spotify. Make sure that you rate 5 stars, download the podcast, share it with somebody. It really severely helps the show out. And make sure that you check out all the charity merch at orchid8.com/collections/BCAM 2023. Big shout out to Bricky for hosting us on his website for the second straight year for that, and for a lot of our other exclusive merch as well. So for everybody else, thank you so much. This has been Not Another Gaming Podcast. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Fight!